That's how they be doing the clay mint. In the car. No pressure, just that ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? That ain't doing a damn thing. Out of here. That's how I want detail like that. And what the hell is that, man? That ain't doing. What are you doing with that brush?
That's like when we do the time studies and stuff.
Yeah, it's like what are you doing?
No wonder you're taking so long,
bro. You just went back and forth 5 times. You didn't touch nothing.
You did. Well, why did you do that? Like, we did what? You don't even know what you did. You don't even know what you're doing.
Man.
But hey, man, that's just the way. That's the way that YouTube taught me. That's always it, right? That's what they said.
But before all that, even with when you were running stuff, right? Employees do some dumbass stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, why'd you do that? I had a dude. No, I didn't. I had to do the bus stops, and it's glass where you could go inside and sit down.
Yeah.
Well, we had one, and it was plastic. A dude on his break just ran and threw himself and broke it. It's just ignorant. You know what I mean? What we got?
First, I want to say shout out to everybody rocking the merch, man.
People looking fly out there, man.
Looking real good. You know, you got Jason from Car Supplies Warehouse out there rocking it. Diego from Coach Kemi out there representing. Josh V representing. Who else we see out there? Christy from Thor Media.
BioBombs.
BioBombs repping. A lot of folks out here really, supporting details. So if you want some of this fly merch, we got some new stuff. And the hoodies. Everybody's been asking about the hoodies. They are dropping. So I will link it in the description or right here in the corner. But yeah, go pick them up. We got the beanies. We got the hoodies. We got the shirts. We even got the little Pops collection for you guys. So thank you for supporting the channel. And we even got these guys on there too. So go check them out and show some love.
That's right. Oh, for you guys like the detail in them Crocs, we got some slides.
We got the slides for you. We got the slides for you because whether you're detailing in the wintertime, this, you know what I mean? Like anybody can wear these, but we got these specifically. It was like, you know what? The mobile dudes would like these, especially if your feet get wet or something. You jump
real
back
quick
in the car, just you're smooth. So yeah, go check out the merch. Thank you guys again for supporting the channel. So what do you want to talk about today, man?
What you got, man?
What do you want to talk about today?
Your turn.
We one thing that we kind of spoke on that we could talk about. We spoke on it in the last training. Was the authenticity. That's like the secret recipe. That's like the missing ingredient in most businesses is the authenticity in themselves not being represented enough in the business. You know what I'm saying? Not integrated enough into the business.
Keep going.
For instance, we see different types of things that people try to put like their personality on the business. So there's a connection there. There's something tied in. You know what I mean? Maybe something personal.
I think it's like the business is like another form of a camera. Like for me, when you hit that camera, like you feel like you can't be yourself. And the business is just another form of that. Like you have a business and you don't know. First, you got to learn to run the business. You haven't figured that out yet. That's ever changing. You're learning in that. So like you kind of almost like human nature. I would think you would just have that standoffish because I gotta portray the business.
Yeah, you're not. It's not going to be your 100% personal self.
Yeah,
you're not gonna conduct yourself in business that you do. Around maybe your friends or your family, or not to say that's bad, but there's certain things that you need to come across, as serious. There's certain things you need to address, and there's certain ways of communication. There's a way to do it where you're doing it in your style, your way. For instance, if somebody is funny, I always tell the guys that are funny, like, that right there, that has value. You being able to like make someone laugh on a consistent basis, or every time they see you, they're like, oh man, I love this dude. He's fun. I love when he comes over because he cracks me up.
That fun cousin coming over.
So if you have, like, I know guys in business who they're hilarious guys. But why are you not like this at work? Like, why are you not? That's one of the most attractive qualities you could have.
Hey man, it's coordination too. You got to be, you know what I mean? You got to be coordinated to run and jump.
Yeah.
I get that way depending on the environment. Like I gotta focus on work only.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's going to take away from the fun part.
Yeah, but I think that's just as important as the work.
Yeah, it's a learning curve. That's definitely something that you got to learn that you probably wouldn't think of.
Yeah.
That's something that I wouldn't have.
I try our hardest, and I try to create a culture for us to be able to incorporate who we are in the business. That way it's less work for us to have to do things differently, because there should be two different mindsets for most people in business. It's like, okay, I have this as this, and I have this as business. So this usually, when it crosses to a certain point, it turns into this. And you need to be like that, very objective with things. If your personal life, you can have opinions, you could have whatever. But I think some of those things and some of those experiences that you have, or some of your interests, I think that can go into, for instance, here's one thing: church. People incorporate church into their businesses. And if you do it the right way, it doesn't seem pushy. It doesn't seem overwhelming.
Not church, the faith.
The faith, yes, faith. Yeah, not church. Sorry. But, but then there's people that could do it in a distasteful way. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're incorporating values or things that they believe in into the business.
Same thing with the political stance. I had a teacher back in the 7th grade, and he wouldn't say if he's whatever party he's in, but he would always say, if you listen to what I say, you'll know what party I'm in. I didn't know what like that meant, but
Yeah.
he says who he is without saying who he is. You know what I mean? So
yeah, there's ways to, and I think that's, if you do it in the right way, it's very, very valuable.
it's more respectable.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
People really respect that. Like, okay, I see where you're coming from. I see what you're representing. But you're not overdoing anything. You're not, for us, we want people to know what they're getting with us. So the authenticity part of work and business is extremely valuable, and it's extremely crucial, because if somebody feels you as inauthentic, it's usually just dead in the water at that right there. It's like, this guy's full of shit, or this guy I don't trust, or this guy is I caught him in a lie of some sort or something. You're kind of like, okay, I see where this is going. I see what this is about. But if you're yourself 100% of the time, you're never putting on any type of mask or front, and you could speak. I think it takes a lot to be able to speak the way that you do normally and get your point across.
We talking charisma, son. Some people just got it.
Yeah.
The real charismatic guys, man, they're smooth with it.
Yeah, and gals.
Yeah.
But I think it's a valuable when you put because that's what makes people choose certain things. It's not always because of the product or the end result. Sometimes it's simply for the person, right? If you feel closer, maybe more attached, or maybe have some things in common, or, maybe it's a veteran-owned business. Maybe something like that people just feel a little bit more connected to, or want to give back to that cause, or show appreciation in some way. Or I've known, like in the DJ community, there's a lot of things where people will name certain things. It'll be like vinyl diner, and that's going to be record themed, or that culture. So when you it kind of gives you an expectation of something. Like people love the channel here because we throw out some hip hop phrases here and there, and then they catch them. Oh, these are my dudes right here. but that's a part of us. It's not like we're doing, because that's how we normally reference things or talk about things and communicate, because that's part of our culture of who we are.
Well, it's a matter of your business, your life, trying to get those things as close as possible.
Yes. And I think the closer you do that, the easier life is, because and we've talked about it before. If you start to incorporate life and business together, it doesn't have to feel like, it's because a lot of people say, what? Oh man, I want the work-life balance, Well, if you're authentic all the time, it almost doesn't feel like work.
Yes.
When you're able to do that. But obviously you have to, there's some people can do it because it works for them, and other people it doesn't work for.
Well, if
like
you're
them being themselves, it really doesn't work for them.
If you're a jerk, you don't want to be keep it real being a jerk.
Yeah.
You can.
But you better be funny.
Be a funny jerk.
Yeah, good looking, funny. You better have some charisma. You better like.
Man, I don't like that teacher. That teacher's a punk, but she's fine.
Yeah. So there's ways to do things in business, and I think the authenticity is a key one, because this past year, just us meeting so many people and shaking so many hands, you kind of feel it immediately. It's okay, like the authenticity just wasn't there. And what's always one of the things that they say to us, oh man, you guys are just like you guys.
Well, yeah, it's kind of funny hearing that. It's kind of like, well,
but everybody who knows us, like family, friends, any people we went to school with, anybody that knows us, or even in the community now, in the detailing community, people that know us, they already know how we are. So they're just like, man, all you guys do, you guys just go up on there on the videos and do that? Man, that's fun. You guys should have been doing that a long time ago. But for us, it's just like, this is just us. We don't have to behave or put on a script or anything like that. I could imagine having to do that.
Well, we went through that phase. For a little bit. It was,
because that's a lot of work, and
rough.
It's exhausting, and I don't know. It just didn't feel right. But we didn't know what it's supposed to feel like to do it on YouTube. We do it all in our daily life all the time. We are the same person. We talk to our clients the same. We speak to one another, pretty much on the same tone. But for us to be able to do it on camera, we're like, okay, well, maybe we got to do it this way. That's what we want, But for us, again, we just life, work together. You can.
Hey, but the flip side of that is when keeping it real goes wrong. Ooh,
well, that's why we call it already canceled. It's like we know we're gonna say some shit that we're gonna have to backtrack on, or we'll be like, oh, we fucked up on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the way life is. That's the way it goes. Like who has not said something or done something where they're like, oh man, because that's being authentic. It's like, okay, you had an opinion at a time. And there's been times on the podcast where we've had opinions about things and we're like, you know what? I'm changing my opinion on that one, because we don't take, it's part of life. It's part of growth. So I don't know why people are so afraid of being wrong or saying something that, maybe you felt at the time, but now you don't. You're like, no, you do that shit all the time. Like it's normal human shit. Like,
And hopefully in about a year, Brent's just be my best friend.
Well,
just by how business goes, if I just get a touch of clean car.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Brent's is my best friend. We got rid of everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the authenticity is, and that's one thing we try to teach so much, is to incorporate who you are in your business. If there's things you're passionate about.
Yeah, well, we talked about it too with public service work. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're a cop. That's who you are. Put that in your business. You're a firefighter. Put that in your business. Incorporate something that in that business. Make it relatable, because that's what you do. Or you're retired.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about it when it came to public service.
Yeah.
We said, well, if you're a veteran, if you're a cop, if you're in the police academy, if you're training to be a firefighter, if you are a firefighter, those are things right there where you've already got like an advantage to most people, not because you served or you're serving, it's because people trust those occupations. So you already have trust.
In most cases.
In most cases. But NWA says otherwise, thinks otherwise. But we as the public, in most cases, we trust those positions and those, those occupations. So in business, you're trying to build, like, that's what the whole thing is based off of, trust. If you already got a head start, like, use that. And I'm not saying to exploit it. That's completely different. But I'm saying, don't be afraid to show up in your uniform and do the quote.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So oh man, I just got off. If you did, like, hey man, I just got off, I just got back. I'm in the reserves, but I'm here to check your quote.
That'll work.
They'd be like, oh, my man over here serving, and hey, who knows? One thing they know is your discipline. You got some discipline. You got standards.
In most cases.
In most cases. So there's things that you, if you got dogs, this would be like a pet hair removal specialist or something. If you got dogs and you're a dog lover, maybe that's the thing for you.
Someone putting it in their Google page right now. Pet hair removal specialist.
So stuff like that makes you who you are. Incorporate that to your business, and I like the dudes, the boys that do the lawnmowers around here. There's two of them. What is it? What are they? Two?
Oh yeah.
Two bros.
Two mows.
Two bros. Two mows.
Just off that alone, like you're like, oh, but that's cool. Too.
Yeah. So it's they've incorporated, the fact that they're brothers and there's two of them and they're doing they're making it fun. They're making things fun. So
everybody can relate to brothers.
Yeah. It's when people see family working together. Oh, you got family? Like they get excited. Oh, you got family? Okay. Me and my brother's been working together for years. Like people love that stuff. It's just we're just being ourselves. And when you're authentic, people are going to start to see stuff, and everybody's an individual. So everybody has their own ideas and stuff that they can incorporate into business. And that's what makes this stuff fun, is when the people incorporate stuff. And I'm like, oh, I see what you did over here, player. I like that. Yeah, that was clever. Because they do a bunch of little clever things to represent them. And I think that's the part that people really miss out on, because they're trying so hard to get their business to a certain place. It's getting further away from them.
Well, we talked about this before too. There's a mainstream. I have to edit this. I'm trying to get my.
You said we talked about this before.
Yeah. We talked about this before. And along the lines of, there's a mainstream way of doing business. Like you have the corporate way, and then you have your own way, which probably mirrors some practices from the corporate way.
Some structure,
yeah. And people think you got to go the corporate way to be successful. And I think for some people, a lot of people, that's what's holding you down.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you're doing this on your own, because you couldn't adapt to some corporate.
Yeah, and now you're just trying to build that for your business.
Yeah. So,
and all you're doing is repeating. You're putting yourself back into the system you worked so hard to get out of. Mm-hmm. And that's a big one. People don't realize.
And like when we find ourselves doing it. Like we're trying to mirror the corporate. It's like, whoa, that's why we hated this.
Yeah,
like, let's do it.
We ain't going that route. Yeah. We're not going that route. And we'll catch it. And I think you feel it more than anything. Because it's just like.
When you start, there's a certain feeling.
Yeah.
Like some type of anxiety. It's just like,
why is this so difficult?
Yeah.
What's going on here? You almost have to reprogram yourself to not think like that. And I see a lot of things in the industry doing that now because the industry is getting bigger. And what always needs to happen at a certain point, everybody needs to create more and more structure. But the more structure you try to create, the more, and a lot of times it comes from people saying, oh, we should incorporate this. Oh, we should incorporate this. Oh, we should incorporate, like trying to incorporate all these things at once. And it's like, yo, you do understand that there's a mental capacity that people can adapt to in X amount of time.
And it shows.
So none of them become effective.
The mainstream thing in business is to grow, physically. You see the McDonald's puts a one on every block. So people are like, I got to get another van. I got to get a bigger shop. You see, this
But
restaurant?
you see what always happens, though. It always goes in the cycle. Like they open up too much Starbucks. They open too many Krispy Kremes. They open up it's like they can do that. They can afford that. And
they have a game plan for that.
Yes.
There's some people that are built to do that, but it's a very small number.
Yes.
Very small number.
And is that the route for the average person to go? Probably not. And that's another thing. Like I think guys need to find a place where they're going to be happy. They need to think about where they're really going to be happy in their business. Because if you're just a small town little detailer, you got more freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do. Whatever your community is into, that's what you target. If you're going big, obviously things have to be a little bit more generic. You have to make sure that you're getting across a broader audience, the broader, buyer or clientele, whatever. So where your business lies and where you want your business to go, I think the authenticity plays into a factor of that too. Like some people put their name on it. And that's kind of a way of saying, okay, this is me. Like I'm putting my name on this shit. Not out of ego, out of like, yo, because I'm going to back it up.
Form of discipline. You see that every day. You wake up to your name every day.
Yeah.
Oh.
So people, to put your name on something that was, like Pan, Jimbo, like they're like, no, I'm going to put my name on it because this is it. Yeah, I could have a brand and hide behind it, but I'm putting my name on it. So that's kind of a it could be a sign of, yo, this is me. This is I put everything I got into this. Now you tell me what it's about. So they're putting their personal stuff on it. And there's always a story. A story always helps. Stories sell. So you put a story behind it. We've seen time and time again. We've heard how many stories about how you started this and that because people want to hear it. How'd you start? What is it about? So that's probably one of our most, not so much now, but that's always probably still in the top. But like early, people always just want to know, how'd you start doing this? That's always like the big. So the story is what people love about you. When I started, I said, yo, I gave up this. Like I dropped my job, operating the medical center. I did this, I let go of this, I let go of this. I started from scratch. I wanted to start with and then worked my way up. 2 jobs part-time, detailing on the side, just working from there, figuring things out from the get-go. But I was figuring out happiness first. That was a difference. I wasn't going like money, money, money. And I think this ties right into the authenticity. Like, what's going to make you happy? That's all that matters, right?
It should. Well,
because when you're authentic, it's easier for you to be yourself. Like I know for me, not having to go to work and like change everything about the things that I want to do and say. You know how hard it was every day going into a job and not being able to say, man, this system that we got running right here ain't worth the shit. Bro. But you know how we can say, if it's not working for us, I'll say, yo, brother, we got to scratch this shit. It ain't working.
That or say, you're full of shit. That killed me. I got to listen to this and I know you're full of shit.
Yeah. So now just us being authentic and not having I think we're not holding any stress in. We're not holding anything back. So I think for the advantage of doing that not to say everybody's doing that, but I know there's some guys doing that because I see them in class and I see them when they come to us, or they call us for the consulting and we get to know you first. I'm like, so you're telling me you got this, and this, and you're not using any of that? Like these are a part of you and you're not using any of that to help your business? Like that's you as a person. That's the easiest stuff to push.
Well, we eliminated so
many. Like being bilingual, son.
We eliminated so many of the things that we don't like to do that we get to focus on the things we do like to do.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, where everyone's having all these problems, they can't. They
don't have no time to do nothing.
Yeah. They're just trying to fix their problems.
Yeah. Yeah, but the authenticity, man, the closer you could get to that, I think the better. All the guys that we really admire in their businesses are all super authentic. They're not trying, like, that's who they are. You're like, okay, that guy has that personality. That's just who he is.
Well, hell, the good comedians.
Yeah.
The best ones are the ones like damn right.
They're coming for you. They're coming straight.
Like,
they just
know exactly what you're gonna get when you're hanging.
You feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it. Some people, you'd be like, hey man, this dude could pop off at any minute.
Yeah.
Like he's wild and there's no change in this dude. So it's like you make the decision if you're gonna hang out with him or not, type of deal.
Like Bill Burr. If you hang out with Bill Burr, you know damn right he's probably gonna call you a dumbass if you do some dumbass stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. And there's some people that are really brash and some people it really works for. There's some people who just don't give a fuck and that works for them. There's other people who are, just super polite, quiet, monotone, boring, whatever, and that works for them. And it's a lot easier to do work when you're doing, I think that's pretty much it, right? It's just easier to do work, period, and live, period, when you're 100% yourself. Because there's no more like the two-dimensional.
Yeah.
It's like wearing work clothes, and when you come home and you get to wear comfortable clothes.
Also, too, knowing when to check the ego.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be yourself 100% if it's going to cause problems with someone that you need.
Yes, and that's a big one. Like okay. If you're hot-headed, or you have an attitude, or there's certain things, because that stuff, there's just no room for that in business and customer service, period. So those things really need to be, you have to do some work.
Yeah.
Before you go 100% authentic. Like you said, when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, like you can't go to someone's house and say, I don't ever take my shoes off. I ain't taking my shoes off. Like, come on. Check the ego.
Yeah.
Take your shoes off.
Yeah, there's things that you still have to be considerate. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying if you're authentically a slob, that's probably not going to be a good look for you. Like you said, if you're an asshole, that may not be good. Maybe you stick to the corporate route. Maybe you stick to the script. You know what I mean? Like don't try to do nothing else. It's not going to work for you. But most people have things that are, and I see a lot of people like incorporate the wrong things in the business.
Yo, but the assholes are pretty much the ones that are doing their thing in business. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think it's so much the assholes. I think it's the ones who have high standards and
right,
they don't want to deal with no bullshit.
But what I'm saying is those guys get called assholes more often than not.
Because they're performers and they don't let anything stop them. That's why. Because they'll do the things that other people won't do to get ahead, and that's why they're usually ahead.
Like, case in
and
point.
people look at it as like, oh, this dude doing too much over here. It's like no, he's
like my man Matt Mormon. I'm sure that dude in his comments get called an asshole all the time.
But he's just saying what he feels.
He's just saying what he feels, and he's keeping it real.
It. But everybody else,
he's doing his thing. Like that's how he got to where he's at,
and he's happy. It's helping him.
Yeah.
He's made his life and his work two of the things that drive him.
Mm-hmm.
He's found it. He's found it. And that's why, we had the pleasure of meeting him at SEMA. And that's why I asked and I talked to him, like he was kind and generous enough to give us some time. And we just asked him a few questions because we feel that has value to us, what he's doing, what he's been able to do, endure and kind of like get to certain levels by being himself and really putting everything online and saying, I'm gonna take this risk. It's never been done.
And it says he's getting paid to make things look dope, which he does all the time through his life.
Yeah. He just has really high standards and he wants things a certain way. And he's able to find opportunities and then create a solution.
Problems?
Yeah.
He got no problems. Very little problems. Yeah, we got problems.
Because he has solutions. He has solutions. And that's what, that's what people want. That drives value. So the authenticity, man, I say use it. It's always going to be something that, but there's some things also, guys, that people just don't want to hear about. Like, give me some examples.
Politics.
Yes. If you're, I'm just going to say this one because I see it probably the most. It's like if you're a Raiders fan, you don't need to incorporate that into your business.
I don't know if you noticed, but they ain't been winning lately.
Yeah. But you know how guys do that? Like just because you like the Raiders, like you don't need to do that. And I've seen it a lot of times. So just be careful of what you guys incorporate into your business.
Speaking of Raiders, man, I've seen some Raiders made it to New Balance. I seen the Raider emblem on some New Balance shoes. They were silver and black. For the OGs, the OG old men, the real OGs doing their walks and walking around with the Raider New Balance. Yeah. It looked ugly.
I bet.
It looked real ugly.
I bet. All right, so keep
it real.
Keep it real. Keep it real. That's all we're trying to say.
All the podcasts out there that's called Keep It Real. You gotta keep it real.
Y'all motherfuckers say keep it real. No, I'm just kidding. We're just kidding.
Oh man, the guys that are authentic, man, Serrano.
Oh yeah.
So that's 100%. Oh man, authentic.
Yeah.
I seen Serrano, and I knew when we met, he was going to be the exact same person that I expected. Like, you know what I mean?
There was something happened that. What did he do? He was on video or something. They got mad at him because he did something. Because he pumped the sprayer.
The IK went to. He was doing the other side where you weren't supposed to.
They got all mad. The dude took it from us. But it's just like Serrano. But Serrano's a cool ass dude. And the way we know somebody is authentic, first of all, there's two of us. So if one of us is just like not feeling it, we're like, bro, I ain't feeling this. So one of us may not be able to see it, but the other one be like, yo, man, nah, I ain't feeling this over here. So that's always good to have a second pair of eyes. But usually it's the vibes. It's just like, okay, well, I'm vibing with this cat right here. And then the people that are always trying to like top everything, or the people that, there's a whole bunch of folks. But
I know when I see Serrano, I wanted to go eat with them. Like I automatically, let's go get something to eat.
Let's break some bread. But yeah, a lot of authentic dudes that we've met this past year. A lot of great relationships. A lot of beginnings of great relationships, and I think it's exciting. The more that we dive deeper into the industry and we meet the people that we like, it's kind of like they're able to like call us for pretty much anything.
Well, and that's
oh man, I get calls all the time.
That's how we excelled in our careers, the corporate route. During that growth, how many relationships did you build to go to the next level?
Oh yeah.
That kept you getting higher. That kept you're just resourceful because you have all these relationships.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like how many people like call Joel, he'll know, or I could call this one, they'll help me out with this part, what I need to know over here.
Yeah. because because the amount of resources that we have now is insane. You know, it's like at our finger at a certain point when you build so many relationships, you can make anything happen. You just have to pursue, you know, you just have to be in alignment with any one of your resources at any time. Say, okay, let's pop this off. Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's take off this, or let's meet up. It's I think the amount of support too when you're authentic is completely different, because now people are fucking with you because they want to fuck with you. Yeah. You know they're not fucking with you because they want something out of you right now. So the authenticity brings you the right things. It brings you the things that you need, because it's gonna that you want. It'll filter out the bullshit is what it does.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, because
put that in the saying. Put that in the old school saying.
Because people aren't gonna. If people know that you are how you are, they're either gonna want to be a part of you or whatever it is you're doing or not. Like, it makes it very, very black and white for them. Like, I don't want to go down that road. Ain't for us. That's, you know, or they're like, someone's speaking my language over here. So it kind of filters out. There's no questioning. Because I think a lot of times when you want to have a business relationship, you kind of have to get a feel for them. Is this really them? Like, how many people said that to us at SEMA? Oh, I just had to see if this is really you guys. I just had to check if this, because there's so many fucking phonies out there. So many people. It's normal to be. It's so fucking normal. It's more common than not that people are not authentic. Like, it's rare. They treat us like they treat you like it's this big fucking rarity, which, because it is.
Damn shame.
And that's fucking wild, right?
Damn shame.
That's wild.
Man, maybe that's why the whole influencer lifestyle was taking off. And while it's not why it is. Yeah. A lot more people in front of the camera bring themselves, and they tend to say how things are.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's wild when people come up to you, and I've never had this happen in my entire life, where people would come up and say, oh, I just had to make sure that you were cool, that you were who you say you are. It was like, we thought it was gonna be a whole act. They're like, even Pan's like, this is me. This is who I am.
Yeah.
This is how I am. Like, there's no motherfucking, like, you know, there's no character. I'm not a fucking character. This is me. Yeah. Do I do things? Do I make decisions on the channel? Is this my business? Yes. I'm not giving you a false narrative character of who I am. This is who I am. So it is a strange feeling, but it makes there's like nothing to hide ever, and that's a liberating feel. There ain't nothing to hide. Yeah, we made mistakes. Yeah, we admitted to them too. Like, there's no problem. Like, at the beginning, remember, I would say, man, I think we were too harsh. I think we were too harsh on that video. Maybe I should do a public apology or something. You're like, apology? You looked at me like,
ain't no apology.
Like, apology? What are you talking about? And I was like, you know what? And then I thought about it, and I said, yeah, no, I don't think apology is necessary. We're just saying how we feel. We're just saying we're just showing and displaying what's out there. I don't think there's anything to apologize about that.
Ain't no apology. I'm thinking about the old
timer?
The old timer on the train.
It's a viral video if you guys haven't seen it. Whatever. Yeah, so keep it real, man. Keep it real. Keep your business. Keep it real.
If you can.
Incorporate yourself into your business, man. It could do wonders for your business. It will cause you to separate from the pack. And any separation is always good for business, because now you got eyes on you. So stop paying for them Google ads and go put in some real work and see some real results. We'll catch you guys on the next one.